Yo, what up, YouTube? It's the young gunner, DJ G-Wiz, and I'm back again with another one. So today's a tough one, man. Today we lost R&B soul legend, D'Angelo. Uh, he was a legend, especially to me, and I mean, he was like so mysterious. The way he sang, the way he played, the way he made you, feel every word that he sang, every note. I mean, he was just so smooth. He was cool, and very mysterious. Very mysterious. He would just randomly drop music here and there. Like I said, I grew up listening to him in the neo soul movement. It was him. It was Erica Badu. It was Jill Scott. It was Angie Stone, and so on and so on. But to me, I just remember hearing "How Does It Feel" Untitled the first time, and seeing the music video, and just seeing the women just lose themselves when that video dropped. I'm like, man, this is different. Of course, we heard Brown Sugar and all the stuff he did earlier, but when he came out with that Untitled, I really started to see you know uh, women in a different light. I think it was the year 2000, maybe 2001, something like that. But I was in middle school, it was like a preteen, and that record changed a lot for me. It changed how I heard music, the feeling in that song, and how it resonated with so many women. D'Angelo is just so heartbreaking because you don't get to see a lot of his shows and things like that because he didn't do a lot like that. He was kind of on the low. Um, but yeah, it just hurts, especially for producers, songwriters, and artists, because you just always think that one day you'll work with James Brown or Michael Jackson or Prince or Whitney Houston, or D'Angelo, and it's just like there's never going to be a time that I bump into him. There's never going to be a time um, where I can work with him. So just a sad day overall. So yesterday we lost. I went to the game. It was a good time. We're in the rain and club level. We played good, just fumbled the ball at the end. So it's just a down day. But whatever, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So today I want to talk about how different the times are, and I think how out of touch your average person is with reality, and how quickly things can take a turn for the worst. So guys, when I'm out and about, I go to the grocery store, maybe I stop by the mall, and I notice most of the people that I walk by in passing, they're not aware of their surroundings. Most people are looking down at their phones. They're talking on their phones. They're in conversations like this, and they're not aware of their surroundings, guys. I feel like when we grew up, elementary school, they always taught us to look both ways and be aware of their surroundings and stranger dangers and all of that sort of thing. But at some point, as adults, it's just like we get caught up in our own world. I see that Target all the time. You'll see a mom and a daughter. Mom will be pushing the cart, and she'll be so involved with what she's looking at. She'll just be doing one of these things in the middle of the aisle, just like in her own world. And I need to remind you guys that the world can be a dangerous place. As you guys see up on the news each and every day, it's important to always look around and keep your head up at all times. Stop looking down. You guys need to start looking for issues and looking to resolve issues. Not saying that you got to be a tough guy and, save the world, but you guys got to be more aware. That's all I'm saying. And we talked about awareness a lot in the last couple videos. Like I talk about being aware of your diet, what you consume, what you watch, because these things come out. If you eat like crap, no wonder you're gaining weight and you can't maintain a solid weight, or you don't see the results that you see that you want to see in the gym. So awareness is key. Another thing, when you guys are in awkward situations where you hear something, an altercation, let's just say you're at Target or Chipotle or something, and then there's an altercation. You guys don't try and diffuse the situation. What most people do nowadays is they mind their business. And I'm all for that sometimes. But there's a point where you should get involved because you don't want it to be a bigger issue. Because when this person in front of you has a problem, eventually that problem can get so big, now it's everybody's problem. So if you guys see altercations, if you hear somebody, screaming for help, if you look and something just doesn't feel right, say something. If you don't have the courage or strength to go alone and do something, say something to someone who can do something. I just remember Cameron had an interview a long time ago, and they were asking him, hey, if your neighbor next door was doing kidnapping or selling drugs, and they asked you about him, would you snitch on him, or would you mind your business? And basically his answer, and I'm paraphrasing it. It's something a little bit different, but I'm paraphrasing for you too. Anyways, Cameron literally said he would mind his own business. And I love him as an entertainer, but as a person, that's a terrible, terrible way of thinking. Like, I'm no tough guy. I'm no superhero. But if I see things, if I hear things, if somebody looks a little bit different, hey, let me ask them a question. Let me see if they're really supposed to be here. Because I do agree that we should be low-key profiling, even though a lot of people take that and put a negative tone to it. People that look weird should be profiled, period. If let's just say it's 90 degrees, right? And I come into the Walmart with a trench coat on, somebody should be looking at me and saying something like, hey, buddy, aren't you hot in that? Somebody needs to make a comment about my jacket because something just ain't right, and it doesn't have to be anything negative. It could just be something friendly, just to see if something comes out of it. And again, I was thinking the other day, maybe they should teach this in high school. Maybe there's a way that we can learn to diffuse situations or learn to be confrontational in uncomfortable situations. Like, what if there was a class that we had to go to in high school that taught us these things, and it gave us like lines and prep. You know what I mean? Like, remember when we did like CPR, and PE, be like, someone called 911. One Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, and then you listen, then hit them again, one misses. So it's like something like that. Like, you got like a little protocol for it. I think that would be dope. And I think we would see less issues. A lot of times you see a lot of these viral moments on YouTube or World Star Hip Hop. I'm dating myself. A lot of times you see this stuff on TikTok and IG and X and all that. But a lot of those situations could be diffused if somebody were to just stand up and say, hey, such and such, such and such. Hey, that's just my thoughts, though. Who am I? I'm just a guy on YouTube. So, guys, I enjoyed talking to you guys here on YouTube. If you're new to the page, you may have seen the shorts. You may have heard my beats. I'm a up-and-coming producer out of the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I relocated from L.A., so tap in, and get in on this journey with me. We talk about life. We talk about everything, music, and everything in between. And so I appreciate you guys for taking the journey with me. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys tomorrow because we're cooking up a loop, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. It's DJ G-Wiz, and we out.